Hello, everyone. This is Pastor Augustus Corbett and my lovely wife, Pastor Tony Corbett. How are you all, and how are you, sweetheart?
I'm doing well. Hope you are.
I'm doing well. Thank you. So we're at Prayer Mountain today here in the beautiful city of Grand Prairie, and we're bringing you another episode, another installment of, let's say it together, We Hate Divorce. Yes. So we want to continue talking about the 22 always and nevers of effective communication for Christian married couples. Are you ready to get back in there?
I am. This would be part 4, and we have already done our section on sex. Now we are on communication.
Very good. So we have 22 always and nevers of effective communication for Christian marriage couples, Christian married couples. And we developed these when we counseled our son and his future wife doing their premarital counseling. So we thought we'd share these with everyone else.
Yeah, I think they're very good. Yeah.
So why don't you review the first, I think we only covered 3 of the 22, so we got to go kind of fast
Yeah,
today.
we're going to have to go fast, you all. And there are some lofty goals here, so just keep that in mind. But it's something to strive towards if you are not already doing these 22 always and never of effective communication. Number 1, we said in our last episode, always tell the truth, point blank, no explanation needed. Number 2, we said in the last episode, never discuss things when angry. That's real important. And along with number 2, number 3 says never go to sleep without discussing or scheduling to discuss unresolved issues. So we know the Bible says don't let the sun go down on your wrath.
Yeah, and the reason we said we included scheduling to discuss unresolved issues is because timing is important. And sometimes, you don't want to go to sleep with some issue between you two, but it may not be the right time to discuss it.
Right. And you may not have enough time to discuss it before you have to go to bed.
Right.
So that's why I think it would be good to schedule it.
Exactly.
Yeah. And then number 4, so we're going to get into new material at this time. Number 4 says, and we're going kind of fast, you all, because we got 22. Number 4, never say anything you cannot take back.
Very important.
I don't care how upset you get, how angry you get, how offended you may have gotten. Just do not say anything that you will just totally regret and will want to take those words back, because you cannot take those words back. Okay,
Amen.
So never say anything that you cannot take back. We should know our spouses, our mates. We know what would be a low blow.
Exactly.
So just don't go there.
Right.
Okay?
Yes.
That's my advice.
Exactly.
You want to add anything?
No, that's exactly right. I mean, I got a healthy sized nose, I was born with a good sized nose, and I was also born with some good sized feet. So, sweetheart, don't call me your big nose, big foot rascal or something like that. I mean, I've been living with all 3 of these for all these years, so it really wouldn't bother me. But that's the point. You can't take that back. And I don't know if we said it, but let me just add: don't say something that somebody can't change.
Yeah, that's true.
Right?
Yes.
I can't. Well, I can change it, but I'm not gonna.
Right.
And my feet, my nose.
You can't change your feet, the size of your feet.
And there's nothing I can do with that.
Nothing. So, yeah, I think that's good to add that. Don't say anything you can't take back, and don't say anything that you know your spouse cannot change and trying to hurt him. If your spouse is 7 feet tall, he's 7 feet tall.
You married him.
Right, exactly. And he cannot change that, so don't even go there with your spouse. So I think that was good to add that. Number 5 is always listen carefully. Now, I do want to say this. I saw a quote the other day that I thought was so good. It said most of the time we have ineffective communication because while the other person's talking, we are thinking about our response rather than listening for understanding.
Wow, that is good.
That was real good.
That is good.
I shared it with my Facebook group. I know I'm guilty of this now.
I am too.
Well, I am listening with the intent of what I'm going to say in response to what you're saying, not listening to get a clear understanding
Wow,
of
that's
what
good.
you were saying. So I know
That's
that's
good.
something I have to work on.
That's good.
Yeah, I thought it was real good. So
No,
always
that's
listen
really, really,
carefully
really, really
for
good.
understanding.
Yeah. I mean, when you do that, that means you're basically arguing.
You're arguing.
Yeah.
You're not really
Yeah,
listening.
you're not listening. That's in the law we call that being argumentative.
Right.
And so that is really,
It
really,
was
really,
it was
really
really
good.
good. Yeah, I thought about that when I saw that. I said, yeah, this quote is right on point because I know I have to do better with that. Okay, number 6, always discuss matters before they become urgent.
Another very good thing. I'll take that. We did a podcast where we talked about the levels of conflict in a marriage. You can go and listen to that podcast. That's not a video podcast. It's just an audio podcast, and it's on Podbean, and it's called Marriage Minutes Podcast. But we identified 4 different levels of conflict, and the key to handling conflict is getting it before it becomes to that 4th level,
Yes, that crisis.
that crisis level. Exactly.
Yeah.
So that's what we're saying here. Discuss matters before they become a crisis.
Right. Because sometimes I think some people have the personality or the temperament to just want to overlook things, don't want to really deal with small things. No, deal with it before it grows. In fact, the Bible says it's the little foxes that spoil the vine. So I don't care how little you think it is. If it's something that's bothering you, go on and discuss it.
Yes. Okay, so the 7th thing is never overtalk the other.
I'm guilty.
I'm guilty. We're all guilty of these things. Let's demonstrate that. So let's just say you are saying something. Go ahead.
Okay, yeah. Number 7 is never overtalk the other.
What I'm saying is. see
Well,
right
I was talking and
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
but I had something to say.
right.
Yeah,
So that's an example.
yeah, that's an example. Let's do it again. A more complete example because we do this sometimes.
Right.
Right?
Oh, I do it all the time.
Yeah, I mean-
because my husband speaks very slowly, and I'm like, "Come, say what you got to say," and I'm trying to complete the sentences.
Yeah, I mean,
So I
I'm
do
from the
it.
country, so I speak
do
slow.
it. Well,
So-
you think so. You are
That's the
so
other thing.
logical
That's the
and
other thing.
analytical. I'm like,
Yeah.
just say what you got to say, but
Yeah.
you thinking everything out, and I'm wanting to just hear what you got to say.
Yeah.
And you're taking too long, in my opinion. So then I jump in, and then he was like, "Can I finish what I'm saying?" So we do
Well,
it
yeah,
all
I've
the
given you
time.
30 minutes to get that out.
And then there's a pause, and I'm like, "Well, I thought you were finished." No, I got another point. So
You're right. I do that. I am guilty. So that goes something like this. So what we, need to do is 3 things. And when you go overtalk me,
yeah, okay, I'm about to.
okay, there are 3 things here. And all right, so number 1 is, all right, so what we got to do is we need to, I'll come
Yeah,
back.
just show love to one another. That's what you're trying to say,
Can I finish?
right?
That's kind of the way that goes. That's kind of the way that
Yeah.
goes.
So never
don't do that.
overtalk the other. And these, like I said, if you're not there yet, this is something you can strive towards to have better and more effective communication. Never, always, this is number 8, always discuss matters at the library level.
Yes.
Now, I think that's good because we're both from the country, and I
Get
know
kinda
I can
loud.
talk loud.
Yeah.
He can talk loud. So, but it's good to really begin practicing discussing things at the library level. But the teachers, I think, used to say your inner voice, So,
So in other words,
you don't have to scream and holler and be loud. to get your point across.
If the volume that you're speaking at wouldn't be acceptable in the library, then it's too loud.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
I wanted to make sure they understood the
Right.
library level.
Good. Number 9, always think before speaking.
Very, very, very important. Now, as
Very
we just
important.
demonstrated, I do that a lot. I probably overthink.
Yeah, to a fault. He can.
I overthink. Let me tell you someone who does that, and when he hit the scene, I felt validated. Barack Obama.
Yeah, you're right. Because I remember saying now, Barack Obama, you need to go and see what you got to say.
Yeah,
You take
he
it too long.
speaks slowly.
Very slowly.
And I said, yeah, that's it right there. That's you remember I told you? That is me right there. We're thinking people.
I confirmed that. Okay, yeah, he thinks, I guess it's a lawyer thing. I don't know, but yeah, he speaks very slowly and methodical and just taking his time thoughtfully before he answers the question.
Exactly.
Yeah. So that was number 9. Number 10, always pay attention to the other while they are speaking.
Some of these kind of run.
They run, yeah.
They kind of overlap each other,
do.
right? Because if you're listening carefully to somebody, then you're going to be paying attention to.
But we know in this day and time, we can be on our phones, scrolling our phones. We can be looking at television, and not paying attention. And that is what we're saying. We should stop that.
Yes.
If you are in a conversation with your spouse, give your spouse your undivided attention.
Right.
Number 11, and this is an overlap too, I think. Always speak gently, not angrily.
Well, I think that deserves space all by itself because, this is something here that I think is especially important for men, husbands, because our voices are very deep, and if we get angry, that can just be overwhelming.
Right.
Right? And if if we start speaking angrily, obviously that's going to basically shut down the conversation.
Right.
Because the wife, if the husband is angrily speaking, the wife probably feels intimidated. Where's this going? Is he about to hurt me or something? Right. So it deserves space all by itself. And I tell you, you have to be especially careful of this if you were raised in a family where your parents spoke angrily. And I think we discussed this in our last video.
We did, yeah.
Where my folks just walked around all the time, just sort of,
fussing,
bickering and fussing. Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Now, angry, my father was not an angry guy, but he did fuss a lot. They fussed a lot. And I have to watch that.
Right. Because men voices, like you said, is heavier, and it can really just come off to be too overwhelming.
Intimidating
for the wife.
Exactly.
So I think that's a good point to bring out. Number 12 is never speak disrespectfully.
I think that kind of ties back into what we just said, because that's going to be disrespect.
Right.
If it's an angry tone.
Right. And the Bible says that we wives are to respect your husbands. It specifically said wives respect your husbands. It says husbands love your wives, and then wives respect your husbands.
It also says husbands should treat their wives as the weaker vessel. Now, women, that doesn't mean you're weak.
Right.
Okay, my wife's a very strong woman. It means that we should treat our wives as the more fragile vessel.
Right.
Okay? Meaning she is not mentally or emotionally fragile, but she should be cherished like you would treat something that you treasured.
Right, and valued.
That's how did I explain that?
I thought that was very good.
Okay.
Yeah, very good. And you all will outside, so if you hear
Yeah, if you
other
hear a
noises,
noise. In
yeah,
fact, we hope it doesn't get too loud, because
right.
then we'll have to kind of shut it off kind of quickly.
Number 13, always know the meaning of words you use. Okay. Now I think that's good because you know what? Sometimes we will use a word. I'm meaning it one way, but you are perceiving it another, or vice versa. So a lot of times, I think we should say, "Well, what do you mean by that?" When you say "I am XYZ," what do you mean by that? Because when I hear it, I think this, and that can be another way of clarifying,
Exactly.
and getting rid of confusion.
That's good. That's good. That's really good. Because, yeah, I mean, words have connotations.
Right.
They can be said in a way that conveys something completely different than what you mean, just the way
Right.
you say it,
Right. That's true too.
right?
Right. Yeah. So that was number 13. Number 14, always create a safe place to talk.
Let me take that again as the husband. I think that sort of ties back into speaking gently and respectfully, because if you want, your wife to feel free to share her most honest and truest and sincerest feelings, then you have to create a safe place for her to do that. And if she is afraid to say what she truly means because you're angry or disrespectful, that's obviously going to interfere
That's true.
with effective communication.
That's very true. Yeah, I like that one because a lot of times now in the therapy world, they talk about, going to therapy is a safe place. Well, it should be a safe place between husbands and wives as well. We should be able, if you are married to someone, you should be able to, like you said, truly say what you believe and what you think, and not feel like you're gonna be condemned and berated and all of that.
Yeah, attacked, assaulted.
Right. So number 15, always watch your non-verbal communication. Always watch your non-verbal communication. Now you know that's good.
Yeah, like, are you listening? Yeah, I'm listening.
Right.
Yeah.
Or like I do that.
You,
Like,
you did that perfect. Oh, you really caught that. Wow, that's saying something. That's saying something without saying anything.
Right.
That said a lot. That
said
spoke
a lot.
volumes.
Exactly. So we want to watch that.
And I think that may be something women do a lot.
Women, yeah, we do.
Because
Yeah.
especially your sisters love to pop your neck and
Popping your neck, smacking your lips.
yeah.
So you want to watch that,
Yeah.
okay, if you want to have effective communication. Okay, number 16, never have serious conversations around others.
I like that.
I like that too.
Someone said everyone's business is nobody's business. So I mean, there's some things that need to be kept within the privacy of your marriage.
Right.
And if I don't mean to sound whatever, but I think that is something probably maybe women do more of.
Probably, yeah. I know we
I
got
mean,
a reputation. I think
At
so.
least the reputation.
Yeah.
And the reason I say that is I'm really complimenting you all because you have these girlfriend circles,
Right. Yeah.
right? And you all can really console in each other.
Right.
Whereas guys, we don't have that.
Right.
We got some brothers we can talk to, but
Yeah.
a lot of times we ain't getting too deep
Yeah.
into our business like
Right.
that.
And we women definitely get into that connectivity with other women, our female friends. Yeah.
You start crying together and
Exactly.
hugging each other and all of that.
All of that.
And you'll have her looking at your husband like, I can't stand him, and why? Because of what that spouse
Has said.
has said to her
Right. And we
about her husband.
right, and we've also had instances when you out, with you on a double date or something, and somebody brings up something that they probably should not bring up. Don't do that. If you know your husband or your wife does not want this spoken out to another couple, then don't do that, because that can make it very awkward
Yes.
in that dating, in that dinner date environment. If you're bringing up something like, anything that's serious, like your finances. Well, if
Yeah.
he would get a job, blah 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 blah. No, don't do that.
Yeah.
Don't do that. That's too serious of a matter to just bring up in front of other people.
Now, there are some things, right, if they occur in a marriage that need to be brought up.
Yeah, I mean, if you're going to get help, but I'm
Yeah.
I'm talking about bringing up something with your casual friends, bringing up a serious matter. You you kind of shocked your spouse by bringing it up.
Yeah.
That kind of thing.
Yeah. But what I'm talking about is if a wife is in an abusive situation, if she is in, a situation that is a danger to her and or the children, no, don't protect dude on that. Bring that up to somebody.
Oh, I totally agree with
Yeah.
that, and we've talked about that
Yeah.
in other episodes
Right.
and other podcasts. Yeah, definitely. If you're in an unsafe environment, if there's abuse going on, abuse towards you or your children, you definitely need to go and seek
Yeah,
help.
exactly.
Professional help, your pastor, professional help, therapy, or you just need to get out,
Yeah.
to a safe place.
Yeah. So don't cover that.
Right, no. And number 17 is real connected to what we just said. Never speak negatively about your spouse to others.
Yeah, that's really
Yeah.
the other thing, and it's important that you not do that again unless there's something serious going on. Don't do that because you and your spouse will make up,
Right.
move past that situation. Yet your girlfriend or your homie
Or your mama.
or your mama, thank you, right? Your mama, your father,
They don't forget.
they will not forget, and that'll be the end of their relationship, and you all. And you're like, sweetheart, why does your father, it's something going on with him?
Right.
Yeah, because 6 months she told him.
Right. A, B, C, D. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay, number 18, never use the word divorce.
We just have that as a rule. We're not going to release that word in our marriage because words have power. And if you get so casual using that word, then, that makes it much easier to start thinking that way.
Right.
What you say is coming from the heart, and the more you say it, the more it's going to get in your heart.
That's right.
Right?
That's exactly right. And that's just, like you said, a rule that we've had. Number 19, always say what you desire for your marriage, not what you see.
Yes. That's a principle of faith.
Right.
Calling things that be not as though they are.
Right.
We know that that's controversial in some Christian circles, but we believe that life and death is in the power of the tongue because the Bible tells us that. So speak life over your marriage, not death.
Right. Right. Exactly. We totally believe that there is power in our words. Number 20, never use your words to tear down your spouse, but to build him or her up.
And connected to that, since we're running out of time, always say something loving before going to sleep, and always say good morning, I love you when you awake.
Yes.
So if we combine those three things there, of course, if you are not tearing down your spouse, but building him, her up, and if you are saying something loving, like I love you, just last night before we went to sleep, do you remember me telling you I love you?
Yes, I do.
Yeah, just needed to say that. And
we've made it a practice now to say good morning, I love you when we awake.
that's right.
Yeah.
That feels good, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does.
And as a matter of fact, good morning. Good morning. Sometimes I can't wait to fall asleep so I can wake up to you again. Good morning. Good morning. Sometimes it doesn't feel as real. Oh, I forgot
So
the
I
word.
must be dreaming.
So I must be dreaming. Thank you. You all heard that word by P.J.
That
Morton.
song, yeah.
That song. I love that song.
P.J. Morton.
P.J. Morton, Bishop
Yeah.
Paul Morton's son. I know all the lyrics, but since I'm on the spot, I can't think of them. I'm trying to think of them because I would like to serenade you. But how does it go? Let me see. The beginning.
You had it. You was
That
you
that was the
singing it.
that was the chorus.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, the
I don't know the
verse.
verse.
How did I become so lucky? It still amazes me that I still make you happy. But I won't try to figure it out. I'll just enjoy it as I sit here on this cloud. Good morning. Good morning. Sometimes I can't wait to fall asleep so I can wake up to you again. Good morning. Good morning. It's hard for me to believe it's real, so I must be dreaming. Yeah, that's it.
Okay.
That's
Very
it.
good.
That's
Thank
it.
you.
That's
Yeah.
it. I love
Yeah.
that song because I truly, honestly, you all, when I go to sleep at night and my wife is right there, first I feel like the most blessed man in the world to have to go to sleep with this woman every night of my life. And we're right there, and oh wow. It is really, really special. It is really, really, really special going to sleep and going to bed with this woman every night.
Oh, that's so sweet.
And
Well,
then
thank
waking
you.
up to her.
Thank
know?
you.
And sometimes I wake up in the middle of the night.
Yes, you all. We have done 22 of these. Always and never
Yeah,
of effective communication.
she's still sexy. After over 35 years, she's still sexy to this day. Okay? And she'll tell you, we ain't gonna get too much in our business, but it'd be on and popping. Especially now that we are empty nesters. The whole house belongs to us.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh boy. Glory to God. All right.
Yes, go back to our episode on sex. That was
Yes.
the previous.
Oh yeah, we already talked about it.
Yeah,
Okay. Just
2
keeps coming
previous
out of me.
episodes. So we have gone over with you all 22 always and nevers of effective communication for Christian married couples.
Now what I'll do is I'm gonna put all these in the description below so that you can download them as a PDF. If I can do that, I'll do that. Otherwise, just put your email address in the comments, and we'll be happy to email these to you if you'd like to get a copy.
Yes.
But people are coming, a lot of folks are coming, so we're going to end this, and we hope we said something really to help your communication.
Yes.
The next time, I think we're going to talk about something pretty controversial. And if there are some topics that you all would like for us to discuss.
No, we still got to do finances.
Oh, okay, yes, okay.
The next one would be
So we're going to do finances. But we're also going to do something that we got into a discussion about this past week. And that is, should or can a spouse divorce a spouse if that spouse becomes mentally ill? And I'm talking serious mental illness.
Yes.
Can a spouse or should a spouse, is it biblical for a spouse to divorce the other spouse if the other spouse becomes mentally ill. We're going to talk about
Yeah.
that before we end
Yeah,
this.
that's a heavy one.
It's heavy. Yeah.
Yeah.
So we'll save that for last. And again, if you want us to talk about something, please let us know. We'll be happy to do so. Until the next time, we're out of here. Bye.
Bye.